Hey there, art enthusiasts. Welcome to our guide on how to fully enjoy a creative stone art. Whether you're a seasoned art connoisseur or just looking to appreciate the beauty of stone sculptures, this video will provide you with tips and tricks to make the most out of your visit. Have you ever wanted to make some beautiful and natural pebble art for your home? Sculptors' materials, stone. The history of stone art takes us as far back as to the Paleolithic era. People have carved into rock, painted on rocky cave walls, made figurines from stone, and toward the end of the Stone Age, constructed crude stone architecture. Using rough stone and shaping it into a work of art has been practiced by many ancient societies, and the durability of the material has allowed us, millions of years later, to take a peek into their unique culture and artistic practices. During the Stone Age, many used this material to make little figurative carvings, which began appearing across Europe from around 30,000 BCE. Since their creators were always on the move, the works were made on a small scale, in order for them to be easily transported. These richly colored portable figurines often depicted humans gaining control over natural elements and animals. The latter were used predominantly for rituals that were carried out before a hunt. Fertility was another popular theme, as it represented prosperity and expansion of the tribe, which is why many Venus figurines were created at that time. Some prehistoric Venus figurines may be as old as 800,000 years, and were often made from soft stones such as steatite, calcite or limestone. The Venus of Willendorf measures just over 10 cm and was discovered in Austria in 1908. Carved of limestone and originally tinted with red ochre, she is believed to have been made between 28,000 and 25,000 BCE, making her one of the world's oldest known works of art. One of the most famous stone structures in England is the historical landmark Stonehenge, in Wiltshire. The monument consists of a ring of standing stones, each around 13 feet high, 7 feet wide and weighing around 25 tons. It was built in several stages. The first monument was an early henge monument, built about 5,000 years ago, and the unique stone circle was erected in the late Neolithic period about 2500 BC. Two types of stone were used: enormous sarsen stones, a type of silcrete rock, which is found scattered naturally across southern England, and smaller bluestones. These are a varied geology but all came from the Priestley Hills in southwest Wales, and they have a bluish tinge when freshly broken or wet. There are many theories about Stonehenge's original purpose. It may have been used as a meeting or celebration site, or even as an astronomical calendar. The peak of stone sculpting occurred during the period of Romanesque art, followed by the Gothic architecture period that gave birth to the greatest collection of three-dimensional religious stone pieces ever seen in the history of sculpture. A popular choice for sculptors for many centuries, stone is valued for its natural elegance, sturdy nature, and versatility. As it is relatively easy to obtain and carve, it opens up a wide range of possibilities as it can be rough-hewn or delicately polished. Different types of stone were used in different regions as sculptors used materials that were available nearby. A variety of limestone was employed all over Europe, and alabaster was popular in England, northern France, the Netherlands, Germany, and Spain. Marble was commonly used in Italy, and exported to northern Europe from about 1550 onwards. It was the famous Italian sculptor Michelangelo who saw the trapped sculpture he needed to release from a solid block of marble. How does the process work? Whether working in igneous, mineral, sedimentary, metamorphic or semi-precious stones, the end result varies. The softer the stone, the easier it is to work with. While soapstone is the softest one and is commonly used by students of stone carving, the hardest and most durable is igneous rock, formed by the cooling of molten rock, and includes granite, diorite, and basalt. Stones such as alabaster, limestone, sandstone or marble occupy the middle part of the spectrum. The tools used for stone carving have largely remained unchanged since antiquity. A mason's axe cuts out the basic form of the sculpture. This is further shaped or roughed out using picks, points and punches struck by a hammer or mallet. Different sizes of tool are used throughout the carving process to achieve different effects. Roughing out tools leave deep, uneven grooves, whereas flat chisels achieve finer results and are used for finishing the surface of sandstone, limestone and marble. Further smoothing is achieved using rasps or rifflers, metal tools with rough surfaces, or minerals such as sand or emery, stone grit. Polishes can then be applied to fine-grained stone after it has been abraded. Marble and alabaster are polished with pumice, producing a smooth, translucent and reflective surface. They can also be left partially unpolished to create different textures. The 20th century completely reconsidered, redefined and reworked the concept of sculpture by introducing abstraction, and this brought new approaches to working in stone. Constantine Brancusi introduced the process of direct carving in 1906, where he would carve directly into the stone without carefully working out a preliminary model, usually made of plaster or modeling clay, beforehand. This practice was soon adopted by other established artists such as Barbara Hepworth and Henry Moore. Despite similar tools being used to make stone sculpture today, we can also see a development in the making of stonework with the use of power tools and technology. This beautiful marble sculpture was one of the highlights of Divine Principles, an exhibition by Zachary Eastwood bloomed for the culmination of his year as Pangolin London Sculptor-in-Residence in 2017. His work explores the intersection of the physical and immaterial, the historical and the cutting edge, referencing classical imagery and adopting digital aesthetics to create his work. Venus Celestis is a combination of the mythological figure, the personification of the planet and the surface of the planet itself. With this sculpture, the philosophy of the ancient Greek is brought up to date by using exquisite CNC milling techniques. Follow along to learn how to create your own pebble art family. I have admired some beautiful pebble art ideas for a few months now, and my daughter and I have wanted to give it a try. The best thing about this project is that it is a great outdoor and indoor activity. Beach Pebble Art Family. E6000 glue is a strong craft adhesive, but it isn't meant for children to handle. Just be sure to read the directions of use. Optional material: decorative stones in blue, green, turquoise and clear glass for crafts and pebble art. Looking for beach glass? We tried to find stones of different shapes and sizes, but the most important thing is to pick out ones that are as flat as possible. Keep in mind they will be glued to cardstock, so thinner stones adhere better because they are lighter. The stones also look better within the frame if they aren't protruding too far out from the frame itself. But who knew it was so hard to find beach glass? Thankfully, we did find a few pieces, and a shout out to my older brother who shared some helpful tips. Focus on the water's edge and dig down into the sand a little ways. My favorite beach glass pieces are the greeny blue ones, but we ended up finding more that were clear glass. No problem. I cheated a little bit and colored some of my clear pieces of beach glass with a green pencil crayon, and I don't think that anyone will ever know. We also found a few pieces of driftwood and went on a hunt for twigs when we got home. Creating your pebble art step by step. Step 1. Organize materials. Pebbles, beach glass and driftwood are sorted on paper plates. We began by organizing our materials onto paper plates. This made it easier to plan out our picture. Step 2. Prepare picture frames. Next, I removed the glass from the picture frames, and then we traced and cut the cardstock to fit the frame. We decided to glue 2 layers of white cardstock onto the hard back part of the frame so that the brown color didn't show through. Remove glass from picture frame and trace cardstock to cut to size. Picture on right. Use the frame insert to trace the correct size in order to cut the cardstock to fit the frame. Although we chose to remove the glass from 2 regular pictures frames for our pebble art, you can also use a shadow box style frame with the glass because it has enough depth to fit the stones. I did this step of gluing the cardstock to the back of the frame for both of us with the E6000 glue, windows open and gloves on. After that, my daughter was able to go wild with her glue gun and materials. Step 3. Prepare mock-up of your picture. Mock-up of Pebble Art Family on cardstock. Almost ready to transfer and glue. Using a spare piece of cardstock of the appropriate size, we created a mock-up of our picture. Step 4. Glue your materials to create your picture. The best part was watching our pictures take shape by moving each piece onto the white cardstock within the frame and gluing it down. The background was nice and secure because it was already attached to the back of the frame, and it gave a solid white background because we used 2 pieces of cardstock instead of 1. Step 5. Let dry overnight and then enjoy. Once we had created our pictures, we lay them flat to dry and left them overnight. Tips. The creative stone art. Prepare mentally. Before heading to the exhibition, take a moment to prepare yourself mentally. Approach the experience with an open mind and a willingness to engage with the artwork on a deeper level. Consider the stories behind each sculpture and the emotions they evoke. Slow down and observe. Once you enter the exhibition space, resist the urge to rush through the displays. Take your time to observe each piece carefully. Notice the intricate details, textures, and shapes of the stone sculptures. Allow yourself to get lost in the beauty of each artwork. Engage with the artwork. Don't be afraid to engage with the artwork on a personal level. Consider how each sculpture makes you feel and what thoughts it provokes. Reflect on the artist's intention behind the piece and try to connect with the message they are conveying through their work. Ask questions. If you have the opportunity to interact with the artist or a curator, don't hesitate to ask questions. Inquire about the creative process behind the sculptures, the inspiration for their work, and any interesting anecdotes related to specific pieces. Engaging in conversation can deepen your understanding and appreciation of the artwork. Take your time. Art exhibitions can be overwhelming, with so much to see and absorb. Remember that it's okay to take breaks and revisit your favorite pieces. Allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience without feeling rushed or pressured to move on to the next display. Capture memories. While photography policies may vary, consider capturing memories of your favorite sculptures through photos or sketches. Documenting your experience allows you to revisit the exhibition later and share your discoveries with others. Reflect and share. After you've explored the exhibition, take some time to reflect on your favorite pieces and the overall experience. Share your thoughts with friends, family, or fellow art enthusiasts. Discussing art can deepen your understanding and appreciation of the artwork. Conclusion. And there you have it, a guide on how to enjoy creative stone art to the fullest. Remember to approach each sculpture with an open heart and mind, allowing yourself to be moved by the beauty and creativity of the artwork. Art has the power to inspire, provoke thought, and evoke emotion, so embrace the experience and let the stone sculptures speak to your soul. Well viewers, that's all we have for today. Which ones did you like? Share us your thoughts in the comments section. We hope you've enjoyed our today's content. If you do, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, and also smash that notification bell so that you will be the first one to be notified when we upload new videos. Thank you for watching until the end. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed.